welcome to Crochet Knit Love by Jo. I'm Jo and this is podcast number 10. So hope everyone's been okay. It's been 2 weeks already. Can't believe that's thrown by, isn't it? As you know from the last podcast, we were going away in our old motorhome Doris, which we did, seeing the Northern family. Well, what can I say? I thought I was going away to do relaxing, resting, knitting. Yeah, didn't do much knitting. So on one of the days, our son, who has no fear like me and my husband, we don't do anything that involves heights, fast, rides, anything like that. So he wanted to do Go Ape, which isn't the one that you're permanently connected to. You have to connect yourself and you're really high up in the trees. So I say we, basically no adults would do it and he had to have an adult. So silly mum here said, oh, I'll do it, even though I didn't want to. It was horrendous. I'm going to insert a picture of me high up in the tree. One point I had a wobble and I couldn't even get up off my knees. My 13-year-old had to come around and help his poor mum up. That was horrendous. So that wasn't the relaxing knitting that I thought I was going to do. And then we did Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I've done all the roller coaster days, but got roped into doing a couple of them. Basically, while we were away, I didn't do a lot of knitting, but I screamed a lot. And I came back ill. So I think it was Thursday last week. You can tell I sound like I've got a bit of a cold. I actually came back with COVID. Yay. Again. I got it really bad in 2020 and resulted in a little visit to the hospital. So I have always been careful and followed the rules and all of that seriousness. COVID just doesn't like me. So basically out of 8 of us, no one else has got it, just me. So I was in 2 minds whether to do the podcast, but I thought, well, there's only me and the dog at the minute, so I may as well do it. Forgive me if I sniff, cough. I am really going to try not to cough. So yeah, I've got put extra makeup on today and still look washed out. So that's what's wrong with me. What I will say though is Winnie's yarn has been completely safe because I didn't go up north with COVID. Obviously came back with it, but I hadn't been in the yarn room until today. So all the yarn has been safe and obviously I'm able to pack things and touch the yarn again. So yeah, I've had really big yarn withdrawals, not been up to knitting. Not been as bad this time, but I have been so tired. I'm still tired now, but seriously, during the day, just falling asleep in my chair, sitting up. So yeah, that's not been great. It kind of wipes you out. So yeah, sympathies to anyone who has got it again. If you haven't ever got it, well done, because I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. But anyway, that's all serious talk. Get that out of the way. But it was more to explain kind of why I'm so I'm still kind of bunged up and got a bit of a throaty thing. But I still wanted to do it because on happy news, our internet's been upgraded. Woo! So where we live, I assumed when we moved in we would have fantastic internet. And it was 1 speed internet that was in our road, basically snail speed. So it takes hours, if not days, to get videos loaded. So we had a leaflet come through the door, I think it was a week before last, saying, oh, we finally upgraded the internet in your area. Straight on the phone I was. And now instead of having super fast, which was never fast, we've got like super fast. And I did a test. I uploaded a previous video and it did it in 10 minutes. Very excited. So my son's chuffed because his games won't pause or lag. That's the word he uses. It's lagging. I was a bit kind of, oh, it's fine. But having had to use the internet like I have for YouTube, oh, it's been rubbish. So that's happy news in the Hendy household, is that we finally have internet that's basically modern now, not slow, snail speed. So yes, hopefully that will help me, so that every 2 weeks I will do the uploads. With regards to giveaways, I haven't had many comments with regards to the giveaway from the last podcast, so I'm going to carry it over to this podcast because I want to give this stuff away. So please comment below on what you would use. It was the cotton yarn. I'll insert a picture so you can see. And I'm going to throw a couple of other extras in that I would have put in, obviously, from this podcast. So I really, really can't recommend enough, you know, follow or put a subscribe or click the bell so that you know when the video's out, so that you can keep an eye on whether you've won it or what you have to do to enter it. I'm giving stuff away, so take it. So what have I been working on? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a picture of a blanket that I don't have anymore because it was actually made for someone. But it was by Kerry. Jayne Designs is the maker or the designer. And it's owls. Lovely, lovely blanket. Did take me quite a while to crochet. It was lots of owl faces. You should be able to see the picture now. So I haven't physically got it anymore, but obviously still have the photos. And it was a lovely blanket. It was, I believe I crocheted it in Stylecraft yarn. So that, as you know, is one of my go-to yarns for blankets. It's washed, used, obviously went to a little person, and will still be in use somewhere in this country. So I'll link also the pattern in case anybody wants to go and have a look. They're paid for patterns, but I've got a number of her patterns. She does really lovely baby blankets and hats and bits of clothing. It's lovely. She also does adult hats as well. So that's someone that I'd recommend going and have a look at her crochet patterns. Really sorry, my throat is dry. Sorry about that. So what I want to also talk about is some free patterns. It's something I said quite early on that I would do, and I haven't. When I do these podcasts, I have a list of things that I want to talk about, and then often I end up going off on a tangent. So if there's anything you want me to cover in the podcast, comment below, because I'm more than happy to. I want this to be interesting. I want people nodding off doing it. It's hard enough for me keeping awake doing it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a couple of patterns that I want to do. I want to make. One's a free pattern and one's a paid for pattern. And I'm going to hopefully make sure I do this every podcast because there are so many amazing patterns out there. If any of you got any patterns that you would recommend, also comment below because I'm more than happy to feature them as well. So I've mentioned tin can knits. Haven't finished my jumper. It's just over to the left of me. I've literally got a bit of a sleeve to finish. It's one of those jumpers though. I need to do it. I mean, today it's been raining this. It's been raining all week, to be honest, on and off. That's kind of when I would pick up a jumper because it's quite a warm project to work on. But I haven't felt up to it, if I'm honest. I've been dabbling with a bit of a sock, but I've actually fallen asleep when I tried to knit as well. Bit of a mess this week, aren't I? So this tin can knits mentioned with the jumper has got they're called Rye Light socks, and it's from the Simple collection, so it's a free pattern. That's the same as where that flax jumper's from. Their patterns are really good. So you have I'm just going to show, I mean, it's a free pattern anyway, so I'm not showing anything I shouldn't. What they do have is little sketches, little drawings on how the anatomy of a sock is, which is really useful. This is a pattern I really want to do. It's actually got, I think you can see on it, little pearl bumps. So that's a free pattern that I'm looking at trying. And then another paid for pattern that I'm a big fan of Andrea Mowry, drea renee knits. Renee knits? Renee Knits. Here I go again with my pronunciation. She is always bringing out fantastic patterns. I've got one of her cows that Carl got me. Was it my birthday last year? Not was it my birthday last year? Was it last year that he got it me? I think it was last year. I haven't made it. My friend Anna's actually knitted it and it's amazing. It's a really lovely cowl. But she's brought another cowl out, Inclinations cowl, which hopefully you can see. And this is a paid for pattern. I'm actually on her mailing list, so when she launches a pattern you get a discount code to use, so it's really worth signing up for that. She also has a podcast where she talks about knitting, which I watch every week. Love watching her, she's lovely. But yeah, this is one of her cows. I'm also planning on making that. I have a big list. I actually have a little book of all things that I want to make. It's a little extreme, isn't it? Hopefully I'll do it. Also on socks, while I remember, I can't remember the Kitchener stitch. I've got little tags, I think. Not sure where they are. Are they in here? One of my many bags of stuff. Let me see. No, I put it somewhere really safe. I've got these little, they're on key rings, and they it's like a little Kitchener stitch one, and I've got that clipped somewhere, obviously really safe because I can't remember. What I also did, Wimwick mum, who really is great for socks, and I followed her for a while, she has an A4 page that you can print out on the Kitchener stitch. So it prints out on A4, but you can fold it into a little, how cool is that? Sorry, something so simple. I thought it was good. But it actually shows you how to do the Kitchener stitch. So if you go on to Wimwick Mum, you can print this off and then keep it folded up. So I'm keeping that in my socks. I cannot remember how to Kitchener. I know some people have it memorised, but it's not going in my head. So talking of socks, finished my socks. You may have seen, those of you who follow me on Instagram, I finished these while we were away. Every opportunity I could, I knitted. Even when we were sitting around sort of having a chat, I was trying to knit. I do get the mickey taken out of me by some people because that's, my knitting goes everywhere with me, all my crochet, but don't care, makes me happy. So I did finish these. These are in DK. These are in Winnie's yarn, which is, I think it's this. Is it that one? I think it's like one of these skeins. It's got a bit more purple in. Yes, it is one of them because it's got the, I added the lime green to it. That looks a bit. So yeah, it's a variegated double knit merino, and it's with one of my little pink minis. So I showed the one that I'd done before, and then I finished both, and they fit. I love them. I was so happy doing socks. I bored everyone with showing my socks. So much so that I started another pair. I haven't done much knitting this last week because I've just felt bleh. It's a way to describe how you feel, bleh. So, this is, I did put the band on it. Oh, I know what yarn this is. Brain's gone. So this is double knit again. This is Emma's yarn with the little minis that you can get with them. So I get, that's one subscription I'm still carrying on with that I get each month from Yarnworks. And it's Emma's yarn, and I have a little mini, and and it's actually double knit sock yarn. So it has the merino, but it also has the nylon in it. I've got quite a few skeins of different coloured yarns. So I'm actually knitting these for Mr. Hendy. Hopefully if they don't fit him, I'm keeping them. I have found that my stitches have tightened up a bit. This one was a little bit looser purely because I was trying not to, it's quite fiddly using. I'm using the little circulars, the 9-inch circulars. So they are a little fiddly compared to what I normally use. So I'm, well, brain's gone. The stitches are a little bit snugger, but that, I think that's just because my tension's improved on the socks, if that makes sense. I literally am doing a basic vanilla. This pattern is the Crazy Sock Lady that several of my subscribers actually recommended. So I did take your advice, and this is my second pair that I'm making. I haven't started the other one yet, but I'm on a good, I think I'm not far off from doing the toe. So yeah, that's that other one. I've just got to start the other pair. Well, I then thought, because look at me, I'm knitting socks, and obviously got a little bit carried away with that. So you've got loads of projects on the go, so why not start another one? I know a lot of you sensible knitters are screaming at me now, saying, no, finish your project. That's not the way I roll. I will just flit. I think you have to do what you're comfortable with, what you enjoy, and I kind of enjoy starting lots of projects. So I've started, I did struggle. I mean, I've only made one pair of sock yarn, the 4-ply, before. Sorry, I need to keep drinking. I'm trying not to cough. That wouldn't be nice, would it? I've started a pair of 4-ply socks. They're super wash, and this was on offer at Black Sheep Wools. It's Rico Designs Superba Volcano. See that one? Of course, I've ripped the band. And what you'll see on that is it creates a pattern when you're doing it. So it's like a ferrule pattern, I think. So I picked this colour. This was actually reduced to, I think, $3.99 a ball. So I literally got this one a little while back. I think it's still actually on offer. I looked on their website yesterday. Really nice yarn. It is a 4-ply, 75% wool, 25% polyamide, whatever that is. And I started this last night because finally I felt up to having a little knit. Why did I start a 4-ply though, where I'm like this trying to see the stitches? And that's how it's starting to come out. So I am literally on the cuff. What I do find with this sort of yarn, it feels a little scratchy, but when I did do my other similar type yarn, it did soften up a lot when it's washed and obviously soaked. So yeah, that's that little cuff. That's that yarn. So I'm doing hand dyed yarn, but I'm also trying the like more of the commercial yarns, because as I've said before, not everyone is in a position to afford hand dyed yarns. I do love hand dyed yarns. I have turned into a bit of a yarny snob, but I also think you can make really great socks with like £4 yarns. £4 yarns? £4 yarn. So yeah, I've started that. So you'll probably see a bit of progress on Instagram with that sock. What else? Oh, I've changed, literally just changed what I'm doing work-wise. So far as I'm dropping a day at work. I do pretty long hours and the job can be quite demanding. So it was a case of life's too short and I need to kind of get a bit more work-life balance. My husband lives at work, you know, he has a really full-on job, that I want to be able to do more yarn related things. Obviously I've started my yarn dyeing. I want to have a bit of balance where I can keep on top of things at home, because I can't, because there isn't enough hours. So my company has agreed for me to drop a day, which I am very grateful for. And I think with what's happened with the last couple of years, I think a lot of businesses are looking at things differently. So I'm very grateful to be able to do that. It does mean, however, seriously having to cut back and watch the money as it were. So I basically put myself on a yarn ban. How boring is that? But it's sensible, and to be honest, I'm unfortunate. I could actually just dye myself some yarn if it. I do still want to support fellow dyers. I've still got a subscription that I get, but I did have something already on order before I banned myself, so that's okay, isn't it? So I'm a really big fan of Selene. Watched all her videos, follow her on Instagram. I've got some of her yarn before. She's really good with speckled yarn. How cute is that? She does little minis. I think I showed her quite early on in my very early podcast. But I had this on order. She's got new yarn bags. She used to do little like drawstring bags. But she now has her very own little pack. Look at that. How cute is that? She's all about the red and the spots. You'll see that. Her yarn is just, on her videos, it's just full of colour. It's great. So I already had this on order, already paid for. So that's how I justified still having it. Well, I couldn't cancel the order, obviously. So I got the yarn bag. Really cute little minis. Her speckles are so good. And even, can you see? They're lovely. She really does do nice little sock yarn. It's really soft as well. My original sock yarn that I was dyeing was soft, but not soft enough. I have actually got another sock yarn. Krypton sock yarn is really soft, and the is it Stella Gold is really soft. I buy my plain yarns. I buy the nicer end of the yarn because I like soft yarn. And these are really, really soft. And also what came with it, I've wanted one of these for ages. They're adorable. Kate and her husband make these. Have you ever seen anything so cute? So this is a yarn holder. She does the bigger ones, but this came as a set. And it also had a little mini hidden in it. It's like Christmas. So I'm just going to unwind it. And what you do is you put your little, let me see if, hold on, here's one I made earlier. It's one of my little yarns. So it will hold the little, so this is a 20 gram. So you thread it through the hole. I mean, it's probably quite obvious what you do with that. And then you would put it on your wrist if you so wish. And then it pulls out. How cute is that? So you could walk and knit. I didn't figure that out while I was away. Couldn't really knit while I was on Go 8, could I? Would have fallen off. But had hoped to do that. This is perfect. If you're doing a little sock or you're doing little minis, they're really well made as well. I thought even if I didn't use it, it's just so cute. But I will do. I've already tried it out. So yeah, that's over at Selene. She's got her own website and she's on YouTube and Instagram. So she does lovely yarns. What else? Oh, I've been going through some of my projects, my unfinished projects. Got a few. I came across, I'm going to have to look up what the pattern is because I can't remember. When I, probably only a couple of years ago, I'd do projects, but I wouldn't even put what hook size I was using. I've got really good at doing that. This was obviously before then, where I'd put the hook size, the yarn and the pattern in there. So I need to look up what pattern this is. And I haven't finished it. And I'm not even sure what I think I was making a blanket, or I might be making a runner. I've got one of my crochet ones as a bed runner now. Maybe I was doing that with it. I'm hoping I've got it on Instagram from way back, and then I might remind myself what it is. That's one thing I do find Instagram good for, is I'll put the pattern of a project, even if I don't finish the project, and then I can go back to remind me. Or I could actually use the Ravelry page and log what I'm doing. I haven't got enough hours for all that. What are you on about? So yeah, I've come across this and I need to go back and find out what I was making with it. So it's, I know for definite it's Starcraft yarn, because that is one of my favourites. Kind of beige colours. It's parchment, I know that off the top of my head. And yeah, what was I making? It's nice though. It's one of those, it's in the pile to finish once I figure out what it was. So I'm sure there must be some of you out there that are exactly the same. I do see on Instagram where people start lots of projects. Yeah, I'm a little naughty for that. But yeah, I've been going through, I've got several blankets I've got to finish, and I've got this, but hopefully I'll get a bit more time to do that, I hope. So my other thing to talk about is Winnie's yarn. So I haven't done any dyeing since before. I did some dyeing before I went away, so I haven't done anything for a couple of weeks, mainly due to being ill, and I don't want to obviously handle any of the yarn whilst I was testing positive. So I had a number of skeins of yarn that I had done before, which have dried. This is really, really soft sock yarn. That these are 20-gram minis, really, really soft, and it's got like a high twist on it. And I've done a number of different colours in these. Let's find them. The pinks, the greens, and the yellows. And then I also did, this is the, is it platinum? Was it krypton? I can't remember which one I changed it to. This is really, really soft sock yarn. Really soft. And that's bright green. And what I'm going to do for the rest of the month, I'm going to update the website today, because I've got a load of other yarns onto it, is anyone who buys a skein, 100-gram skein of yarn, whether it be sock yarn or DK yarn or slub, you will get a 20-gram mini thrown in. And what I'll do is I'll put a colour that will coordinate with it should you wish to use it together. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I've got a number of DK merino yarns here. These are super soft. I've done it's like a bluey grey, and that's the greens and yellows, which I really like. And that's Winnie's Garden, which I'm going to make some more of. That's been really popular. I've actually, the sock yarn's all sold out now. And I've only got a couple of the DKs left. That's the one I'd like to make a sweater's quantity in. And then I've got this other one, which this is the darker version of the sock. Oh, throwing that too far. So, which I showed before, that's more of a darker version, but it's those colours that are in it, but slightly, I made them slightly more intense. Some other, hold on, let me get, right, merino Donegal, name underneath, you know the score. Can't laugh, that start me coughing. Got to be serious. I dyed up some other colours. I did a grey, I did a magenta pink. No, that wasn't magenta pink, sorry, that was a more vibrant pink. My favourite colour, turquoise. And you'll see on these, and then this one was a mashup of those two there. Oh, it's on the floor. So you'll see this has little bits of white in it. And this, right, I'm just having to look up because I can't remember what's... Yeah, it's got, I think it's got a bit of cotton in it. I'll put the exact mix underneath so you can see. I'm going to be listing these onto the website. And that's those. They are lovely. I've got to knit something up with that. I don't know what. And then I've added some more magenta merino, which needs rescanning, and more slub. So this here, this is a darker version of Winnie's pink. The dog has been quiet up until now. A neighbour's dog's barking, so now she's barking. I bet you wonder where she was this episode. Normally she's barking quite early on. So that's the slub. And that's going to be listed. So I'm going to update all of the yarns that are there. And so any yarns that you buy from now up until the end of June, you will get a mini skein thrown in to go with it. Purely because I've dyed a lot of mini skeins. I've got a load over there. That's it'd be really good if you try them as well, because they're really soft. I'm really pleased with them. So I think that's everything I was going to talk about today. Yes. So I hope everyone looks after themselves. I hope that this hasn't been too much of a serious one. I try and enjoy doing them, the podcast. I'm just probably not running 100% at the minute, but I'm no longer contagious, so hence I'm able to touch the yarn, so don't panic. Any orders that people had got during this time I'd already contacted, and they were separate anyway, and have now started going out, so I want to keep everyone safe. So look after yourselves. If you want to subscribe, please tick the little bell so you get notified, because these videos are going to come out every 2 weeks. And also, if I know enough people are watching it, it spurs me on to keep doing them as well. So look after yourself, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.